and to this day, people can see those green plants and know that Lerina is being punished for her wickedness. Congrats, sir, you have finished the story, well done. This is your reward for finishing the story. Mangiatar and Lerina. Many years ago, there lived on the banks of the Laguna de Bay a poor fisherman whose wife had died, leaving him two beautiful daughters named Mangiatar and Lerina. Mangiatar had dark skin and hair as black. She was as good as she was beautiful and was loved by all for her kindness. She helped her father mend the nets and make the torches to fish with at night, and her bright smile lit up the little Nepal house like a ray of sunshine. Lerina was fair and had long golden hair of which she was very proud. She was different from her sister and never helped with the work, but spent the day combing her hair and catching butterflies. She would catch a pretty butterfly, cruelly stick a pin through it, and fasten it in her hair. Then she would go down to the lake to see her reflection in the clear water and would laugh to see the poor butterfly struggling in pain. The people disliked her for her cruelty, but they loved Mangiatar very much. This made Lerina jealous, and the more Mangiatar was loved, the more her sister thought evil of her. One day a poor old woman came to the Nepal house and begged for a little rice to put in her bowl. Mangiatar was mending a net and Lerina was combing her hair in the doorway. When Lerina saw the old woman, she spoke mockingly to her and gave her a push that made her fall and cut her head on a sharp rock. But Mangiatar sprang to help her, washed the blood away from her head, and filled her bowl with rice from the jar in the kitchen. The poor woman thanked her and promised never to forget her kindness, but to her sister, she spoke not a word. Lerina did not care, however, but laughed at her and mocked her as she painfully made her way again down the road. When she had gone, Mangiatar took Lerina to task for her cruel treatment of a stranger. But instead of doing any good, it only caused Lerina to hate her sister all the more. Some time afterward, the poor fisherman died. He had gone to the big city down the river to sell his fish and had been attacked with a terrible sickness that was raging there. The girls were now alone in the world. Mangiatar carved pretty shells and earned enough to buy food. But though she begged Lerina to try to help, her sister would only idle away the time. The terrible sickness now swept everywhere, and poor Mangiatar, too, fell ill. She asked Lerina to nurse her, but the latter was jealous of her and would do nothing to ease her pain. Mangiatar grew worse and worse, but finally, when it seemed as if she would soon die, the door opened, and the old woman to whom she had been so kind came into the room. She had a bag of seeds in her hand, and taking one, she gave it to Mangiatar, who soon showed signs of being better but was so weak that she could not give thanks. The old woman then gave the bag to Lerina and told her to give a seed to her sister every hour until she returned. She then went away and left the girls alone. Lerina watched her sister but did not give her a single seed. Instead, she hid them in her own long hair and paid no attention to Mangiatar's moans of pain. The poor girl's cries grew weaker and weaker, but not a seed would her cruel sister give her. In fact, Lerina was so jealous that she wished her sister to die. When at last the old woman returned, poor Mangiatar was at the point of death. The visitor bent over the sick girl and then asked her sister if she had given Mangiatar the seeds. Lerina showed her the empty bag and said she had given them as directed. The old woman searched the house, but, of course, could not find the seeds. She then asked Lerina again if she had given them to Mangita. Again, the cruel girl said that she had done so. Suddenly the room was filled with a blinding light, and when Lerina could see once more, in place of the old woman stood a beautiful fairy holding the now well Mangita in her arms. The beautiful fairy pointed to Lerina and said, "I am the poor woman who asked for rice. I wished to know your hearts. You were cruel and Mangita was kind, so she shall live with me in my island home in the lake. As for you, because you tried to do evil to your good sister, you shall sit at the bottom of the lake forever, combing out the seeds you have hidden in your hair." Then, she clapped her hands, and a number of elves appeared and carried the struggling Lerina away. "Come," said the fairy to Mangita, and she carried her to her beautiful home, where she lives in peace and happiness. As for Lerina, she sits at the bottom of the lake and combs her hair. As she combs a seed out, another comes in, and every seed that is combed out becomes a green plant that floats out of the lake and down the Pasig. And to this day, people can see those green plants and know that Lerina is being punished for her wickedness. Congrats, sir, you have finished the story, well done. This is your reward for finishing the story. Nipa, noun, a type of palm tree native to the Philippines, often used for thatching roofs in traditional Filipino houses. Nurse, verb, to provide medical care and assistance to someone who is sick or injured. Raging, adjective, violently active or furious. Sickness, noun, a condition of being unwell or having a disease. Seldom, adverb, rarely, not often. Moans, noun /verb, low, mournful sounds of pain or discomfort, to make such sounds. Clapped, verb, to strike or slap together with a sharp sound. Elves, noun, mythical, supernatural beings often depicted as small and mischievous. Punished, verb, to impose a penalty or suffer consequences for wrongdoing. Wickedness, noun, the quality or state of being morally wrong or evil. Laguna, noun, a lake, specifically referring to the Laguna de Bay, a prominent lake in the Philippines. Cruelty, noun, the quality or state of being cruel, which means causing pain, suffering, or harm to others deliberately. Sincerely, adverb, in a genuine and honest manner. Consequences, noun, the results or effects of a particular action or situation. Terrible, adjective, extremely bad or severe. Mend, verb, to repair or fix something that is broken or damaged. Jar, noun, a container, typically made of glass or clay, used for storing food or other items. Reflection, noun, the image of something as seen in a mirror or water. Cleverly, adverb, in a skillful or intelligent manner. Thatching, noun, covering a roof with straw, reeds, palm leaves, or similar materials. Island, noun, a piece of land completely surrounded by water. Happiness, noun, the state of being happy, which means experiencing joy or contentment. Beautiful, adjective, pleasing to the eye or aesthetic. Furious, adjective, extremely angry or full of rage. Mangita and Lerina,